Lights out. Hopefully that is not a predictive statement. Jeez, this feels way more woodsy than I've ever ridden before. I'm just talking out of my ass. Garcia Gulch definitely has some exposure. More elevation change in general, or like, you know, an impalement device. Definitely a little bit exposed. Decently steep. I'm at Hollister Hills, SVRA, for the first time ever. Now, my main goal is to hit all of the black diamonds, with a few exceptions that I'll get to. And then we'll see, I just do other things. I'll probably do the MX track a little bit as warm-up. There's an Obstacross / Enduro, whatever little track that I'm going to try. But the main goal are all the black diamonds. Now, the exception is that I'm going to do the black diamonds, if I do everything, that are black diamonds on trail forks. Trail forks has a decent rating system. The official maps have a few more that are black diamond, that are double black diamonds on trail forks, that look too difficult for me to want to do, especially when I'm solo. So I'm gonna skip. It's like Troll Trail and a couple of others that I'm not gonna do. So we'll see. This is gonna be, I'm gonna probably cut together kind of a short overview, and you'll see a little bit of every trail. I don't want to spam the channel with a single video for every single trail, so I'll probably link in the description counterclockwise. I'll probably link in the description the individual trails, like full end-to-end trails. Okay, let's see what's up with this, just to spin around a little bit. Not that I'm... So let's go to lip. I'm not really going to be doing this, like... I'm just going to do the one spin around this warm-up and just looking at it. I'm not necessarily going to take any time to like go around the MX track, but it's a nice warm-up. Taking it really slowly, because who knows. There we go, very super lippy jump. Another lippy one. By lippy I mean that like there's like a lip, so like if you come at it with some speed, you're gonna get a fair amount of air. It's not just this flat, straight, typical tabletop jump phase. I guess it's not necessarily a lip like that, because it's not actually angled, so maybe not. It's more that just there's not a tabletop, and it lowers down more so than the lip actually being at an extreme angle, I think. Yeah, it's a little lippy. Pretty sure. If I had taken that one faster, there's just a good angle that you're gonna hit the air, so to speak. Okay, that's the MX track. By the way, one cool thing at Hollister Hills is that most of the trails are one way. So it's the opposite of what I'm used to, which is great. I guess the only downside is that it gets awkward if you're realizing that a trail is just too much and you arrive at like a gnarly hill climb and you want to go back. That's the one downside, but like I love the fact that most of them are one way. Not that you can necessarily trust that everybody cares about that. This one is two-way, but it's a big wide. When I said it was mostly one way, I was referring to like the single tracks and the actual trails. Obstacross to the left. Let's see what this is all about. I did see like one video from like 13 years ago or something on YouTube, but that's about it. This is definitely much more overgrown than what I saw in that video. As with every single trail in this video, you're gonna see that I'm gonna be doing it very slowly, because everything is like first time ever. Okay, a little bit of a drop. Is there a trail? No, that's just trail looking. Oh, that was actually an obstacle. Oh, okay. I'm like missing the obstacles because they're not obvious. All right. Do I want to take that? Is that too much for me? I don't know. Let's try it. Whoops. Okay, my first, you know, skid plate on a log situation. There we go. Rear wheel on top of the log. Okay. There we go. All right. Not gonna do that. Not confident enough. I don't want to get some injury like before the day has even started. Okay, some logs. Okay. Not sure what that's gonna feel like if the front wheel doesn't hit the way that I want to hit it, you know? Do I try to go in between or do I try to go on top? Probably in between. Okay. Let's see, let's try it. Okay, easy enough, I guess. And then this rest, I think, is not the same. It's not the Obstacross, it's something else. All right. I do normally like just riding around and started checking my phone all the time. I have a mission. I don't want to be like meandering because I'm here and I'm probably not going to be here again for the next 2 years or whatever because it's so far away. It's like I don't want to be meandering around. I want to like actually hit the trails I want to hit. So from what I can tell, this is basically very indicative of most of the blue trails. Some, but when I say that, I mean from watching YouTube videos, right? So these or the sort of like maybe half the width of these, but not single track. That seems to be most of the blue trails from what I've seen. I haven't seen like a blue trail that looks like a single track. So if you want single track, basically the black ones are the ones to go. Just check trail forks and like avoid to see which ones are the like really difficult ones if you're trying to avoid that and if you're not. Oh yeah, I remember this. That person is not going in the right direction. Fault line, and then I think we're gonna. And that's one way, stay on trail, and then there's going to be a right leading on to outside. Now this is what I meant. Like this is most of the like blue stuff looks like, from what I can tell. Okay, is this lights out? This is lights out. Okay, here we go. Lights out. Hopefully that is not a predictive statement. So this kind of terrain is very hard to come by, I would say, in the Los Angeles area. Like hard packed, like woodsy single track. So Hollister Hills has the San Andreas Fault going straight down the middle of it. So you have the southwest section of the area. I'm talking now about the motorcycle ATV part of the area. There's a southwest side, which watching like a Bay Area channel that was recommending things was basically saying try that because it's different than the rest of the Bay Area, because there's a very big difference between which side of the San Andreas Fault you're on in terms of the terrain, which is interesting. So I'm guessing that this kind of stuff that I'm on right now, which is we're now at the northeastern part of that split, maybe there's much more of this around Bay Area, because the stuff that he was saying is different and is worth trying looked very much more similar to what I am used to in the Los Angeles area. So for me, the interesting stuff here is going to be on the northeast side, all the black diamonds on the northeast side, because it seems to be similar to this, which is basically a big reason why I wanted to go here. I'd seen a bunch of videos and seen this kind of terrain, right? For the sort of regular, like sandy, sort of fire road or half of a fire road kind of stuff, that's also cool to ride, but like I have that around Los Angeles, so this is higher priority for me to try if I'm here so far away over just the one day here, or 2 days, but one of the days is riding and the other days is something else. So yeah, again, apologies, I'm slow, I know I'm not flying down anything, and that's not the point of this video. My goal is to just give an overview, so hopefully I'm gonna be cutting in a little bit of each trail, and I'm gonna make sure to like include, if there's anything like extra difficult or something, it's gonna get included. So if you're just looking for sort of, oh, is this going to be too difficult for me? If that's why you're looking at the trails, which is what I often do, the idea is that just watching this overview instead of going down and clicking on the full trails is going to be enough to convey that. With the caveat, of course, that different people have different ideas of what's difficult, so you never know. So if you want to be sure, check out the full trail, but so far nothing difficult in particular here, as long as you're not a complete, like if you're kind of intermediate. I'm not used to riding near trees. This feels way more woodsy than I've ever ridden before, which is great, which is basically part of the reason why I'm here. So let's see, is this the continue? No, all right. Garcia Gulch, I remember that. That's the next one. Okay, so Garcia Gulch. I wouldn't say any big immediate change. Maybe it's transition to being slightly more sandy, but that might just be the first few feet there. Feels like it's basically the same trail, just divided up into a different section. Focusing on the vision, also focusing on not gripping the handlebars too much, which I do in like motocross, and I can also do that a lot when it's like I'm riding something new and I'm less comfortable. Interesting that there seems to be, no, I think it's just, I was gonna say it almost was kind of like pavement, but I realized it's just very caked clay, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I mean, this is considered black diamond. Like, you never know how things are rated. Like, we have at Rower Flats, you know, the buffer OHV trail is, at least for compared to what I've ridden so far, buffer OHV is more difficult because it has steeper inclines and declines and so on, and it's similarly wide, but it's considered a blue trail. So from what I can tell, anything that's like any single track, no matter what, gets called black diamond, I think, here, pretty much. And I'm not saying, like, of course this is going to be challenging if you're new, and like, if this was a year ago I would be more scared or whatever. I'm not trying to be like, it's so easy. I'm just saying different parks, different places have seemingly vastly different sort of grading scales, which isn't that surprising given that, as far as I know, there's no standard. But it does make it a little hard to tell. But I think if you're just jumping into something and you have no idea what to expect, it's always, you know, start at least one level lower. Like, if you think you can do black diamonds based on past experience and you don't know how the particular park rates, then, you know, start with blues, right? And then once you feel like, yeah, this is all like way below my limit, then, you know, try a black, right? It's a little redded, which is unusual for for single tracks that I've ridden before. So that's one thing, that's one aspect that makes it a little more difficult, I guess. And I suppose that is probably because of the sort of hard packiness. I mean, yes, it was sandy back there, but like, I think it's sand on top of more hard packed. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't make sense off the top of my... That sounded pretty stupid, but what I mean is... What I was thinking was, with reins and if everything is loose, unless it's on an MX track where people are going exactly a certain line and so on, and I was thinking that maybe, you know, things kind of even out over time, and they get more smooth, because not everybody's like following a perfect line. And I was thinking that maybe with hard packed, maybe it's more like, you know, the left side was hard packed, the middle was softer, so we got like a indentation, and that becomes the rut. I don't know though. I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know the nuances of how ruts form and when they don't form and stuff like that. But I'm imagining that rains and water has less of an effect on these types of trails than some of the softer stuff that I'm used to. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're like a trail maintenance person, you have a clue about this, feel free to post or comment. Teach me what's up. Is this really not pavement? Like, no, it's clay, or like clay-like stuff. Yeah, it's just super freaking caked. I'm totally not used to this. I don't mind it. It's just cool that it's different. So it's a little exposed here. That would be maybe the main difficulty so far. I mean, quote unquote difficulty, right? But like, it's not super exposed. It's hard to tell on camera. I don't know how to describe it, and I don't have a measurement, but it's like sort of medium exposure. It's like, yeah, I don't want to fall down there, but I'm not too worried about super serious consequences if I do, right? It's kind of in that sort of middle zone. I'd say more so than lights out. I don't remember much with similar exposure on lights out. Here, for example, here it's a lot more actually, more steep. So yeah, Garcia Gulch definitely has some exposure. Another reason to go carefully and slowly. And I've never actually had like a fall in this situation, but I'm trying to, like in my head, I'm like, if something happens, just like kick the bike out to the left, fall to the right, like that's kind of what I have in my head. I have no idea if I'm going to be successful at doing that, if I do have a fall of some kind, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm trying to keep that like active in my head, and with the hope that like if I'm actively thinking about it, that if I do need to do it, I'll actually be sort of primed. I'll have primed myself as opposed to like, oh, what the heck's happening? Think, right? All right. Garcia Gulch. More one way. Gotta love the one ways. Thank you very much, whoever made that decision, or whoever is making the decision not to change it. That's okay, Corral. All right. Woo. Okay. Feeling a little more warmed up, but still gonna be careful. Okay, so far it's much less exposed than Garcia Gulch. We'll see if it stays that way. And I kind of like it better, I think, like just in terms of like the bumps in the terrain and stuff. It's a little interesting. We'll see how it continues. I really like feeling like I'm riding in the woods. Whoa, those are some actually deep pockets. Definitely a bit wider, especially in places. Not universally so. More elevation change in general. So this might be considered more difficult depending on your skill level. Like the other one is more exposed. Garcia Gulch is more exposed, so far at least. But the elevation changes mean that it's not as easy to just like putter along, right? Because when you're going up and so on, you need to have a certain level of aggression to get traction. I'm talking too much. I was like late to brake and I was skittish. Whereas this is a little bit maybe less consequences if you make a mistake so far, most of it, because of the decreased exposure, but just a little bit more like feathering the clutch and being aggressive on the throttle and going from accelerating to braking and so on. It might help you if you're not trying to talk to the camera at the same time. Oh, it's a fork! Wait! I'm not letting that go. I need to figure out what's happening. Is it just like a short divergence? Is it actually forking into different... I don't think I saw any major forks. Okay, so it looks like that left is a straightaway and this right is just a little bit longer of a loop around and then they meet up. So I'm gonna take this longer one. But of course now I have FOMO because like what if there's something cool on the other side, but whatevs. I'll have to live with the knowledge that I never found out. Okay, this part gets a little technical. Like fairly rutted downhill on a turn. Not too bad, but I like these trails. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I was hoping for. I mean, again, I kind of seen them in videos, but you never know what it feels like in person. Proper woodsy single track. And that's it. Cool, one more and then I'm gonna take a break.